これこそ私たちが日本で見ていた佐々木諦まれだ。ドジャースのデーブ・ロバーツ監督はそう断言しました。苦難の日々、疑念の声、そして適応への苦労、その全てを乗り越え、ついに本物の怪物が目を覚ましたのです。あなたは今の佐々木諦まれをどう評価しますか？ぜひコメントで議論しましょう。高評価とチャンネル登録もよろしくお願いします。それでは覚醒の全貌に迫ります。
上がってくるとは思いますし、試合の中でも自分でそこまで力入れてなくても99ぐらい出てる時もあるので、そこに関してはずっと目指してきたところに近づいているので、いい傾向ではあると思うんですけど、もっとなんていうんですかね、全体的に上げていけると思うので、そこは慎重にというか、継続してやっていきたいなと思います。
前回の登板で同じく好投しながら6回の途中で交代して、今回打撃7回までしっかり投げられる、そこら辺投げ切れたことへの喜びというか、そのチームへの信頼というところだったと思う、チームからの信頼というところもあったと思うんですけど、いかがですか？
そうですね、今日日程的にもアリゾナから来ての、大変な中で野手陣も守備でたくさん頑張ってもらったので、もちろんブルペン陣もたくさん投げているので、イニング投げたかったですし、そこに関してはそれを実行できてよかったなとは思っています。
今の投球感覚という時代の良かった時、どういう面では同じで、どういう面では今ちょっと違うんでしょうか？
相手バッターだったり、やってる野球が少し違うので、比較はできないですけど、自分のストレートで力を押して、ある程度、構えたところに行くようになったのはいい傾向かなとは思っています。
先発でメジャー来てからゼロに抑えたっていうのは初めてだと思うんですけども、そこに対する喜びみたいなのは
そうですね、はい、ずっと失点が多かったり、イニングも途中で、降りたりだとか、そういった中で7回しっかりゼロで抑えたことに関しては結果だけ見たら成長ですし、パフォーマンスも上がってきているので、しっかりいい方向には来てるかなとは思っています。
三振がすべ
球速が戻ったのはドジャースに来たから実現できたのか、それとも自分の一貫した考えが少し頑張りましたけど球速を元に戻すに実ったんでしょうか？
どちらもあると思います。はい、もちろんチームもそうですし、チーム以外でもいろんな人に助けてもらったので、どれか一つではなくていろんなことの積み重ねで、気づいたことも多かったので、はい、そう思います。
三振が全てではないかもしれません。今日も2桁で、狙って取れてるのかなっていう部分もあったと思うんですけど、そこの受け止めっていうのはいかがですか？
早いカウント早く追い込めているので、自分のペースで投げれている、結果かなと思いますし、前に打球が飛ぶよりも三振の方がアウトとしては、完全なアウトなので、そこはもう求めてやっていきたいなと思います。
自信を持って投げられていると思うんですけども、余裕があることによって打者の反応とかファウルで打ち取ろうとかファウルを奪ったりとか、そういうのの打者の反応というのは以前よりもよく見えるようになりました。
そうですね、もちろんファウルになるとか、まっすぐが通る回数も多いですし、何より自分がそこに投げれるっていう状態が、大事だと思うので、ここを投げたら、打たれる打たれないとか感じてもそれを実行できなかったらまた意味がないので、今今日に関してはそれを実行できる状態にあったので、そこは良かったなと思います。
いろんな支えがあっての今だと思うんですけども、その一人でトラビスはずっと体作り一緒にやってきた人ではあるんですけども、佐々木投手にとってはどんな存在というか、その辺なんかありますか？
そうですね、トレーニングも1年目から、見てもらって、いるんですけど、それ以外のところでも文化の違いだったり、コミュニケーション的なところでもたくさん学ぶところが多いので、トレーニング以外のところでも、支えてもらってるなとは思います。
ちなみにベンチの中ではどんな会話があったの？今日すごい終わった後すごい楽しそうに喋ってあったんで、ちょっと
ボディールの話なんです。
今日女性球審だったんですけども、多分ドジャー戦で彼女は初めてだったんですけど、やりをしてたからなんか印象ってありました？
いや、特に変わらず、はい、投げれましたし、はい。
version of him and who he is on the mound, confidence, how he's using his full pitch mix, is this the guy that you kind of heard about as well and are seeing right now?
This is the guy that we saw in video in Japan, and that we hope to get. And I think that we're all guilty of expecting it to be seamless, and certainly unfair to Roki, and not appreciating that there has to be some transition period. And he's went through some tough times and some doubts, but he's gotten to the other side, and a lot of support in the clubhouse. And I think he's feeling that. He's put in a lot of work himself. He's a lot more physical. The stuff is really playing well. We talk about that split. And the split now, ironically, is kind of to the velocity that it used to be in Japan. And so there is an adjustment with the ball that he had to make with his grip with the split. But now it's 90, 91. And yeah, I mean, it's just, and you can see his demeanor on the mound, just real confidence. And it's good to see him get through 7 innings tonight the way he did.
Is there an example of how you're now seeing it hit a consistent pace and just he's building with each outing, not only getting better, but you're just seeing a consistency?
Yes, yeah. Every time, I think, certainly now, I think we can all agree that the floor for Roki is much higher, and the expectation every time he takes the ball is high, and he's earned that. And I think if you look at the last 6 or 7 starts, it's been as good as any starter in the big leagues in the consistency of performance. So really proud of him. And I know that he wants for more, and the floor has just been raised. Now it's just continue to raise that ceiling.
What part of him now stands out to you most about like what you saw in videos? It's really how he went about guys, is it the stuff, the velocity? What sort of stands out the most watching him now?
Just the mound presence. I think if you look at the stuff, the results now, striking out high 20%, walking, 5 to 6%. That's what he did in Japan. And now you're talking about major league hitters. So the performance now mirrors that. And then just the way he's carrying himself. There's just no more doubt and uncertainty. I think that, you can tell a pitcher, and hitters can sniff it out when a pitcher is not confident.
In the 7th, when you sent Roki back out there, sometimes pitchers can, in a tight game, get too fine or too cute. The way that he responded, he just seemed to attack another level. How much do you enjoy that response to the challenge, and how his overall mound presence and demeanor?
It was a challenge. It was something that we've talked about how, when you want to give him more leash, and in a 0-0 ball game, 85 pitches, 86 pitches, something like that, where we could have easily pivoted. But I wanted to see how he responded in the 7th inning. And to your point, yes, he did. He was on the attack. He didn't run from the 7th. And that shows a lot of growth. Like I said, I'm just really happy for him.
Roki's a pretty reserved guy, but I don't know if you saw in the 5th inning after he struck out Frazier, he kind of beat his chest once. What does that say about how confident, how comfortable he is in his own skin?
It's good. I love to see the emotion tempered. It was a big out. He threw a good pitch to get the strikeout. And I like the way that he had emotion but didn't go over the top and exert, more energy. And so knowing that there was more baseball to play. So, but to see that was good to see.
Roki pitched the way he did. Defense, made some great plays behind him. What was the feeling in the dugout seeing Freddie hit that walk-off?
Great. Freddie just has that aura. Will Smith has that same kind of pedigree. And you just really, there's not too many guys in baseball that you'd want up, in a game-winning situation. And Freddie does it once again. So, I don't know how many of those he's had, but it's pretty remarkable how we can kind of want to be that guy and come through as many times as he does.
Do you feel like the addition of that harder splitter is when things really did kind of start to change for Roki?
I do. I do. I think it just now, if you look at, if you can kind of plot map his fastball with his slider, with the split, it's all similar velocities and then all does something different. And so now, the slow one popped and it wasn't consistent as far as strike throwing. So this one is more in line with his throw, and everything coming out of the hand looks the same now.
What did Detmers do well tonight for them?
Detmer's velocity was up. Just really lifey fastball tonight. Seems like every time we play these guys, whether it's in the spring or in the season, we get this guy, and I've always liked him. And I think he loves facing us, and it's a good slider, just a good competitor.
What did you think of Mickey's play?
Unbelievable, unbelievable. Miggy is he's just so much fun to watch, and I'd pay money to watch him play defense. Just a really, really good play. Yeah, I mean, he like we talked about some other guys, you know, he always kind of does something to help us win, and he's just such a good teammate and big play.
Dave, Miggy's barehander or Espinal's diving play at third?
I would say the barehand play. The barehand play, but SB has been so solid on the defensive side, but Andy's play in center field was a good play, but I'll take Miggy's play.
Dave, this version of Sasaki, does it remind you, you talk about his mound presence, does it remind you of anybody you've seen before?
You know, I don't know. I think that he's a hard kind of comp because of the age. He doesn't remind me of any Japanese players, so I can't say, you know, like a Darvish or a Hideo. You know, there's a lot of young players that have come that you could start to see more confidence after they get hit in the mouth. You know, Robo in a different way has kind of similar in that sense. I think even, you know, Emmett, when he was scuffling, you see the look in the eye versus now the confidence of feeling like he is the best option when he's out there. You know, I saw from Yamamoto a couple years ago, you know, once he kind of got his bearings on Major League Baseball. But this has been a really good one because we saw it where it was really, you know, we all felt sorry for him and sad for him. And now he's like arrived as an adult and a major league player and real confident player.
During that time when he was kind of getting kicked in the teeth and stuff, and I mean, honestly, a lot of times his body language afterwards was really bad. At what point did you kind of think, like, was there something that told you, like, you know what, he's going to get through this and he's going to come out on the other side of it, or?
I do think that the last year in the postseason on the biggest stage to pitch some big outs, to rebound from that, you know, tough year was one part of it. And then I don't know what point this year in April where he sort of just said enough is enough. But I do think that that split changed his trajectory too. You know, the profile of his pitch mix. That's you just can't ignore that either.
Well, obviously there's been so much talk about Roki Sasaki, but with what we saw tonight, the 10 strikeouts, just for you personally receiving the ball, what have you seen as just the biggest difference in him when it comes to how he's executing his pitches?
Yeah, he's executing. You know, he's getting ahead of guys. He's putting guys away with 2 strikes. You know, his pitches are kind of developing and getting better. Yeah, he's been pitching really well for us right now, and you know, that's just his hard work. You know, his continued growth, and you know, getting a little more confidence.
He's added, whether the pitch he added this offseason, and kind of making an adjustment to the forkball / splitter. How are you seeing just the confidence develop within those, and how quickly they've come along?
Yeah, I feel like each bullpen, you know, gets a little better. Obviously, each start he gains some momentum and some confidence, and goes out, competes, gets good starts, and it's been fun.
But has that harder splitter kind of opened up the rest of his arsenal?
I think you just can control it a little better, so it's in the zone a little more. You know, it makes it a little bit harder for hitters to check off it. Yeah.
Prior outings, especially early in the season, it would seem like Roki was a little timid against hitters. Even on the 7th, at a time where Dave Roberts said he'd like to push him and continue to attack hitters the way that we saw all game long. Have you noticed a change in that demeanor?
Yeah. I feel like, honestly, after the postseason last year, he's been pretty confident when he's been going out there. It's just finding his success. That's what he's been doing this year.
How big a difference has it made for him to kind of unlock his fastball velocity these past 2 starts?
I mean, he's been throwing pretty hard all year, I feel like. I think his command is just a lot better. You know, he's getting to the right sides of the plate, elevating at times, putting it down at times, just getting in good counts.
Well, you saw him obviously take his lumps earlier this year. Just from that standpoint, just how happy are you to see him have the success he's had recently?
Yeah, it's great. You know, he's in there every day working, trying to get better. You know, you can see the care factor, the drive he's got. So it's good. You know, it's good to see the benefits right now.
Thank you.
ここまで見てくれたあなた、本当にありがとう。この動画が少しでも面白かったら、コメントで意見を聞かせてください。そして高評価、シェア、チャンネル登録も忘れずに、次の動画で、また一緒に野球の熱狂を味わいましょう。